exhortation unto the Archeums, pushing this truth in sincerity and in truth. I just want to say shalom unto the Aquats, being obedient unto the husbands and taking heed of this word. Well, today I just want to bring a small video concerning understanding clean and unclean meats. This is your brother Yassad from the Trinidad camp. Because a major part of the law is not eating unclean meat, and we ought to obey all Yahweh Shiloh's statutes and commandments, because this here is a part of we covenant unto the Most High Himself. And we know that the famous pagan holiday coming forth, which is the 25th of December, Christmas Day. And Christmas, that's celebrated by all religions, all races, and we people partake in that, and the partaking in Christmas is reveling. So let me go down into the scriptures. Let me go into the meaning of reveling. Well, it said to take part in a revel, to take part in intense pleasure or satisfaction. Because that right they give satisfaction unto the heathens. And a major thing within Christmas is the celebration of also eating pork, which is the swine that is unclean unto our people, the Israelites. Because the law was given unto us and not unto the heathens. So them does do whatever they please, but we don't have to follow after them. So we're going to the scriptures here now. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." Because we ought to hear and adhere unto the word of Yahweh and take instruction from Him. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." So we not to follow after their customs. And one of their major customs is eating a unclean meat, as we see in the video there. A Chinese woman, eating lobster, crab, all of these things. But today, through the scripture, we will go through and differentiate the unclean from the clean. So we will be edified through that. And it say, "Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven." Well, this scripture here going into Christmas now, but I'll leave that for another video, because my focus is concerning unclean meats. So let me go in the book of Job chapter 14 and 4. It says, "Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one." So if a animal is unclean, there's nothing you could do to make it clean. You could wash that meat how much you want. You could roast that meat. You could bleach that meat. It could still be an unclean meat. So I'm going to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14, and I'll start from verse 2. it say, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, and Yahweh had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. Yeah, so it say, for thou art an holy people, that means separate. So we ought to find ourselves separate from the heathens, and we separating ourselves is by keeping the law, statute, and commandment. Because we know through the law, we're not supposed to eat nothing unclean. And that right there is by doing those things that are making us holy. Let's say, and the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself. Yeah, because we is the most high chosen people, the Israelites. Yeah, we Negroes, Native, Latino, Spanish, so forth. But because that is what the white man so-called give us that names. Because we are the Israelites. So let's say above all the nations that are upon the earth. Yeah, because the Most High chose us. He chose us to keep his covenant. And in these times that we're living in here, now's the time to ensure that we call off the election sure. Yeah. So verse 3, it said, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. Yeah, because this is instruction from Yahweh himself. This is a part of the law that we ought to obey. It said, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. Yeah. Because by we eating unclean meat, like we transgressing against the Most High. According to 1 John chapter 3 and 4, it says sin. Well, let me get the scripture. 1 John chapter 3 and 4. It says, whosoever commits sin, transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Yeah, because once we've been instructed by the Most High to keep our laws, once we break that, I transgressing the laws, and that will make us sin. Yeah, because in Psalms, the book of Psalms, I believe it's chapter 13, it says the law is a foundation of life, and it is a way to depart from the snares of death. I just roughly paraphrasing. Yeah, so it's important to keep the law. So I'm gonna go back into Deuteronomy 14. Yeah, and it say, these are the beasts which ye shall eat. Right? The ox, the sheep, and the goat. Yeah, so it is okay for us to eat the ox, the sheep, and the goat. The hart and the roebuck and the fallow deer and the wild goat and the pygarg and the wild ox and the camus and every beast that parted the hoof and cleaved the cleft into two claws, and chewed the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Yeah, so we ought to ensure that the beast we eating, it chewed the cud and it cleaved the cleft into two claws. Yeah, so here, for example, over here, as you see, it cleaved the cleave into two claws. Watch it right here. And this is a cow. It is okay for us to eat the cow because there is a clean beast. Yeah, and chewing the cud as meaning continuously chewing. Yeah, like that's why these animals feast upon grass and herbs and so forth. That is extremely cod. So it say and every beast that parted the hoof and cleaved the cleft into two claws and chewed the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat, of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, and the coney. For they chew the cud, but divided not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. Yeah, because we see the difference to the feet of the animal of the cow and to the camel. Look at it here. Because these here divided the hoof. You know, yeah, see, no cleaving of the cleft and two claws, you know, seeing that. So, I'm gonna go down. Let's see, and the hare and the coney, for they chew the cud, but divided not the hoof, therefore they are unclean unto you. And the swine, yeah, and a lot of we love to eat swine. A lot of we tutored people that lack the knowledge of the scriptures, you know, and those that love to transgress against the laws of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because a lot of people ignorantly went and eat pork for Christmas. Yeah. Let's say, yeah, and the next thing about it, they, they're gonna know it's wrong to eat the swine, but because it is a custom of everybody to celebrating Christmas, and a Christmas is not a Christmas if you yeah, eat pork and all them kind of things, they will be telling themselves. Yeah, but we ought to obey Yahweh rather than man. And if the Most High say we not to partake in no celebration. Yeah, so like yeah, they I'm gonna continue. It say because it divided the hoof, yet chewed not the cud. It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. You know, yeah, so we not to eat pork. That is an abomination unto us. Yeah, and also to add to it, plenty products people unawarely know that it also contains gelatin, and gelatin is a substance that is used from pork particles. Yeah, and is plenty times we found in things like Jello and so certain ice creams, certain snacks as well. So ought to read the the ingredients of the things we buy in to eat to ensure it doesn't have gelatin in it. Yeah, so look at here, look I search up the word gelatin and I got um glutinous material obtained from animal tissues by boiling. Yeah, and that animal is pork. Yeah, is the pork. I believe is the pork skin that it does use and boil. Yeah, so we ought to read the ingredients and ensure it doesn't have gelatin within it. Um, let's see. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scale shall ye eat. And whatsoever hath not fins and scale ye may not eat, it is unclean unto you. Yeah. So a lot of fishes, like catfish, shark, sapate, cutlass fish, all of these things are unclean things. Once it doesn't have fins or scale, it is unclean unto you. Yeah. And a lot of people like the bacon shark, which most of the time they be getting catfish to eat. Yeah. But we ought not to be eating them things and transgressing the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yeshai. Of all clean birds ye shall eat, but these are they of which ye shall not eat: the eagle and the ostrich and the osprey. Yeah, the osprey is oh man. The osprey is the black eagle, and the glede and the kite, because the kite is also known as a hawk, and the vulture after his kind, and every raven after his kind, because it got plenty, it got a lot of different types of raven, and a lot of different types of hawk and vultures, so we not to eat any of them. And the owl and the nighthawk and the cuckoo, and the cuckoo is what we known as down in Trinidad is the seagull, and the hawk after his kind, the little owl and the great owl and the swan, and the pelican and the grey eagle and the cormorant. The cormorant is a bird similar to the pelican, and the stork and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing and the bat. Yeah, and the Chinese, they're famous for eating bat, but we is not to learn after them and do what they accustomed doing. It say, and every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you, they shall not be eaten. Yeah, so we're not supposed to be eating them creeping things and flying things like cockroaches and etc. But all clean fowls ye may eat. Yeah, so these here is a brisk rundown and the things that we ought to eat and not eat, the clean from the unclean. So let me go and get a scripture in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 44 and 23. It say, and they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. Yeah, because this here referring unto the duties of our priests. But in this time we are the priesthood, so we ought to teach unto the people, because we lost our heritage through slavery. We lost our heritage, so we ought to continuously edifying the Israelites and making known unto them the law. I'm going to go into the book of Isaiah, chapter 52 and 11. Let's see. Depart ye, go ye out from thence, touch no unclean thing. Go ye out of the midst of her, be ye clean that bear the vessel of Yahweh. Yeah, so we ought to keep our vessel clean. This vessel is the body. Yeah, so we not to intake any unclean meats and so forth. This body must always be a body unto the Most High, holy and clean. So I will get this last scripture here in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and 16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the Spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? Yeah, so it's saying we ought to know that we are the temple. This body here is the temple of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And the Spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in us. It goes on to say, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So it's saying, whosoever defile this body, and defiling this body by eating unclean meat, it say, him shall Yahweh destroy. Yeah, so we ought to keep this body, which is this temple of Yahweh, clean, and refrain from eating unclean meats. Well, I hope this little video was edifying, and I just want to say shalom.